What's up, guys? Welcome to the next episode of the Last Laugh podcast. Here with your host, as always, Jay Perrin. I have a very special guest today, which is my best friend, my buddy, Ant Dowling. I don't have a nickname for him other than Cunt, but we'll work
Nice.
on that. Um, Ant here is just as passionate about MMA as I am. Is probably smarter about it than I am. And he's a gambler himself,
I don't know
so
about
he's. I mean, it's
that.
sometimes you stump me, so. Um, he's also the gambler of the two of us. So as far as betting odds go and stuff like that, he's definitely the guy that I would go to about what is a good fight or a good fight to bet on or a good person to bet on, because I'm just a trash gambler, if I'm honest. One game of blackjack and I'm done. So we're gonna get into the card this weekend. Mackenzie Dern versus Angela Hill. Just gonna go through the preview and some of the odds between them, and just kind of give our analysis and pick who we're going to win. All right. So just starting from the top, we'll go just from the main event. So Mackenzie Dern versus Angela Hill. It's a pick 'em. Mackenzie's coming in at minus 200, and Angela is the dog at plus 160. So Dern's coming off a decision loss to Jan. Do you know how to say her last name? Because I think it's Jean. I'm so sorry. I'm so bad
I
at this.
I am
And
bad. I am bad with names
I've been
myself.
practicing it too. And so
Yeah, there's a couple
Jan
names that really
Zhao
bother
Nan.
me.
I'm gonna say
Yeah,
Zhao Nan.
yeah.
I'm
I would
definitely
just I
butchering
would
it.
just say Jan, honestly,
Jan, but so we all know. Who is herself coming off a starching. So, what I mean? Just take that into account. Her last win came in April of last year. Obviously, her sub game is clearly what everybody's going to talk about here, especially against Angela Hill, whose heel has kind of been grapplers at one point.
Yeah.
I'd say that her hands have gotten better though. Over time. Maybe not great, but she. I mean,
Yeah, I think she's starting to at least be able to use it to try to at least set up some takedowns because I mean, early on in her career, she didn't really like to use any sort of strikes to set up a takedown. She just kind of tried
at
to
all.
quad forward and
She did
just
the
kind of
jits
throw
thing.
them out there. Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where the competition jujitsu person comes in, and you know what I mean. You see it with Hidalgo,
Yeah.
Vieira as well. They just kind of come in and shoot from 10 feet out because they expect that they'll be able to get it. And you're right.
Which is not happening, especially when someone's trying to
No,
punch you in the face.
no, or it just makes it different, or a knee up the middle. You know what I mean? You don't have to
Right.
look
Exactly.
for things like that. What was I gonna say? Yeah, but in her last fight, was it with Rebus?
Amanda Hebus?
Did she fight Amanda Rebus?
Who?
Mackenzie.
I do not believe so. No. Before that, it was Tisha Torres.
Okay, never mind. You're correct. Tisha
She's kind of
Torres, right?
split. She split her last couple wins and
Yeah.
losses. Before that, she took a decision loss to Marina Rodriguez. Was on a little
Yep.
streak before
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Actually,
Yep. Yep. I'm looking at it now.
I stand corrected. She did fight Hebus
Thank you. Okay, so I'm not
a
wrong
while
there. But
back.
her hands did look all right even back then. So it started to come together. She started to throw combinations together.
Yeah.
But she is coming off of a loss. So we'll see if what her game plan or how much she's grown since then. Like I said, she hasn't won since April of last year. That's over a year since your last win. So, and Angela Hill is actually coming off of a 3-fight win streak.
Yep.
Right now.
Two fight win streak.
2-fight win streak, looking to make it 3. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Angela, I think against Loopy looked amazing. You know what I mean? I thought Loopy was going to dog walk her. If I'm honest, I really, really did. I really
Angela
expect.
Hill is one of those really tricky fighters, almost in the sense of a like a Roxanne Modafferi, whereas she's got the skills, but any given night she could really look bad, or she could really look on her A
Super
game
polarizing.
and upset people. Very stark contrast in like
Yep.
what you're getting from her on a night to night basis, which in a sense could make her dangerous. I think in a 5-round fight, I do probably give Mackenzie the edge. But I mean, like you said, Angela has looked good, but she does get streaky. So she'll go, 3 wins,
Yep, and then
2 losses,
she's due for
one
another
win,
loss. Yeah.
1 loss.
Yep.
It's kind of hard to predict her. At least with Mackenzie, we've gotten some sort of consistency. A la late, it's been a little strange, but I don't know what we can potentially account that to. But
So Mackenzie's obviously, the more well, I don't know if I would say the more well, yeah, probably the more well-rounded, or just because she's a specialist. But Angela is definitely the better striker of the two, I would
I
say.
think Angela's a better striker of the two, and she does have a really solid takedown defense. I wouldn't call it
Yeah,
the best
because
in the
Loopy,
world.
she kept Loopy off of her that whole time. That was that
Right.
she couldn't,
And
Loopy couldn't get her down. You know, and
if
when she
Loopy
did,
can't
she
get
got
her
right up.
down, yeah, I
I
don't
just
think
don't think that
Mackenzie's going to
Mackenzie
be able
can,
to.
unless she's getting her some body lock trips and stuff like that. But um, I don't think that she cannot afford to play on the ground with
And
her
Angela's
like at
big
all.
too. It's not like
I've
Mackenzie's
rolled
really
with
got a
her.
size advantage or even kind of
I've
on
rolled with her.
par.
She is a big lady. She's strong too. She's
Yeah,
strong.
she definitely
Um,
looks it.
um, personally, I don't know. I don't know which way. It's like I said, it is a pick 'em. If I had to pick, I would just go Angela Hill because of the momentum. Just that's basically where I'm going here.
Yeah,
It's going to
it's
be hard to get her down. I think she's going to be the better striker, and she's been moving her feet better. I mean, she's been looking. She looks great. You know, she's looked
that's
great.
kind of the way that I've been leaning, but it's tough because of the fact like she's so streaky. It
Like she's overdue. You know what I mean? Like, so like
not
she's
that
got
she's
three now. She might as well. She
I
might
mean,
go back to her
yeah,
because
and
she's just inconsistent. I get what you're
I
saying.
might be thinking too much into it, and she could, be going on a streak right now and try to make, a nice push and a nice run. But I'm gonna probably stick with my gut, and I'm gonna go Mackenzie here. I'm gonna stick with the favorite. I'm gonna go Mackenzie. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think coming off a loss. I mean, it wasn't it's not like it was a bad loss. She came off a majority decision. It's it's close. I think she's going to look to try to make a statement and kind of prove that namesake and that hype that she had coming in, still has some sort of validity. Maybe not the crazy, serious, outrageous. This monstrous jiu-jitsu champion is coming into MMA, but kind of remind people that she is dangerous and she can compete with those upper echelon. And yeah,
is
I'm
this
going with
a
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie doesn't have a number by her name, does she?
They
I don't
do
believe so.
both. Mackenzie is the 8th ranked, and I
Okay.
believe Angela is the 14th ranked.
Also, Angela's
Um,
trying to get top 10 finally, and Mackenzie.
yeah, and
But this is weird but I don't know. Oh, I mean, I guess. Well, okay, so with a win, does that really even elevate Mackenzie?
I don't necessarily think it does. I think maybe I'm not sure if everybody else is either just locked up in the division right now, and this is just kind of a fight that maybe Mackenzie wanted. Maybe Mackenzie thought that she was gonna walk all over Angela Hill. This is kind of an easy quote unquote ranked fight.
Yep.
14 is still ranked, however you want to cut it. It's
Yep.
low in the rankings, but it's there. And Angela is a proven gamer. She's definitely durable.
Oh yeah, she'll definitely go in there and
Um,
make it a scrap for sure. Technique, she
yeah,
won't make it pretty. I mean, out of the two of them, that's Mackenzie.
yeah, it's what I'm saying. She's gonna make it dirty. I mean, I don't know if I think going back to maybe her early careers, I mean, Angela Hill hasn't been finished in years and
Well, then there
years.
you
I
go.
mean, very durable in the last, I would say 5 to 6 years.
It's going
So
to be a tough one. I'm still going to go with Mackenzie, but it's good. She's going to have to earn it. That's just my analysis.
yeah,
Moving on. The next fight that we're going to look at right to now, Edmund Shabazyan, um, versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez.
Fluffy.
Fluffy. See, this one's a fight right here, and like a lot of people are, I think we'll sleep on Edmund, but if he comes the way he did in December, because he looked damn good in December.
He did. He
He
did
looked
have
good
a
in
good.
December.
He did have a good comeback fight.
Now that's only one. Now that's I'll get into my next point. Fluffy is Fluffy is durable as hell. Right? Let's
Fluffy's
just get
fun.
into him. Fluffy goes in. I watched a couple of his fights again. All he is pressure, man. All he pushes forward no matter what you hit him with, and he's throwing the whole time. He's out, and he can do that for 15, 20 minutes. You know what I mean? And not get tired. And Edmund is the dog at 210 at plus 210. Hernandez is coming in as a favorite at minus 260. Um, let's see. Fluffy's got two finishes and three fights. Like I said, he can keep a tremendous pace. Edmund can pull it off, I think, but that's a tall task. You know, that's going to
Yeah,
be a tall task for him to do.
that is a pretty tall task. I mean, Fluffy, admittedly, I will say that the one thing that will work in Edmund's favor is Fluffy's a bit chinny at times. He's been clipped a lot, and that's mostly to him just kind of plodding forward, trying to go in, trying to just kind of go for the kill, I guess you could say. And he has been clipped, he's been dropped, but especially lately, he's got that guillotine over Rodolfo Vieira, a nice triangle in his last outing. Edmund, I mean, the move over to Extreme Couture definitely looked like it helped him, probably mentally, both, especially with kind of all the stuff surrounding the whole Ronda Rousey stuff and all of that over there. Do I like him in this fight? I don't. Unfortunately, I do kind of like Edmund. I think he was fun coming up when he was kind of in that prodigy stage, in that prospect stage of
he came in on fire, man.
Yeah,
the kid was on fire at one point.
He came in flaming, kind of reminded me of the hype that like of Rory McDonald had. He kind of
I got that kind of way too,
lighting people up in that vibe, and then he ran into Derek Brunson. And
goddamn Derek, goddamn Brunson.
You know what I mean? Blonde Brunson strikes again. That shit is crazy that you can just dye your hair. What's up? Maybe I'm gonna dye my hair, man. Have you ever noticed? Charles Oliveira became the champion. Blonde Oliveira,
tips, man.
And then frosted tips. I'm bringing it back. Like what was the no strings attached? Like NSYNC and those, and on the album cover, all the strings.
Yeah, like any like early 2000s boy band.
Well, there's like two. Well, no, I mean there was two main ones.
The lead singer, Crazy Town.
What do you get? Or like 96 degrees or whatever it
98
was.
Degrees.
98 degrees. You would
Frosted tips were a thing.
You would know.
All right, but back to it. Fluffy. Again, Fluffy's coming off of a 3-fight win streak. I mean, Edmund, of course, he did get that good comeback win, that rebound win, but I don't think it goes his way. I think he's a great striker, but
I think he has the skill set to win. Like I don't know. Maybe it's a confidence thing, or maybe it's I don't know. But the streak, that losing streak is tough, and I don't know.
It is. I don't know if he looked enough improved in that last fight for me to think that I could take him over Fluffy, and I think Fluffy's
been a
better since his loss to Kevin Holland. He's kind of tightened it up again. He's been chinny, and that's probably the path to Edmund's victory is kind of clipping him early, I would probably say. But as the fight progresses, I mean, I don't think Fluffy has the greatest takedowns in the world, but Edmund does not have the greatest.
He doesn't have good subs either, but he's got a sub on Ronaldo, and that had nothing to do with Rodolfo. And that was just based off he cracked him and then put him in some.
When Fluffy does get into a takedown, he does chain different, going from a single leg to a double leg and trying to maneuver around and get that takedown very well in a very fluid way. So I definitely I think I got
I don't think that Fluffy's gonna get Edmund down. I don't think it's going to be a grappling, because I don't think they got wrestlers all day on him. I don't think that that's going to be anything new.
Yeah, but is it enough? Has he spent enough time and gotten comfortable enough? I mean, there's plenty of people that have, sat there for years and years as strikers and tried to work on their, takedown defense or their takedown game, and it hasn't really translated, regardless of the gym that they're at. So I mean, Extreme Couture is a place for him, but it's kind of yet to be seen. We haven't seen anybody really try to really take him down, really wrestle with him yet, really try to, see him off of his back, trying to get up, trying to get out of harm's way. So I think in this fight, it's a possibility that we do see that. I think if Fluffy feels like he is getting lit up on the feet, or, if he gets cracked and it kind of goes to the ground, we'll see what that might be. I think the edge on the feet goes to Edmund, but all around, I think Fluffy's got enough in him to both put him out. I would have
said the opposite. I would say that on the feet, so I would flip that. I think that Edmund's got the better grappling ability, and maybe I'm just talking about pure pressure. And it's not like Fluffy's hands aren't technical. He's got technical combinations. He's not hitting super hard, but the pressure that he does like the blitz
though.
It's like I get it, but like and he might chase a little too much, which he can
And
get
that's why
caught.
he
What
gets.
you mean by
That's why he
chinny?
gets caught.
Yeah. But I think his boxing is a. I don't think it's anything to scoff at. Maybe it's not like one
No.
punch knockout, but like maybe just off pure pace of play. You know what I mean? He's successful. He lands shots, dude. You know what I mean? And maybe and I might be going off of the Hidalgo fight, and that guy's not a striker. So I mean, take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
But I'll go with Fluffy on that one. The
Yeah.
bets is I would say that line is probably pretty good here.
Yeah, it's pretty
Another
fair.
pick'em. A lot of pick'ems here. This next one's kind of interesting. It's two people that lost to Angela Hill.
Yeah, very interesting.
So I didn't know that, to be honest. I didn't know that Ducote fought her. Anyway,
Yeah.
Emily Ducote, I think it's Ducote versus Lupe
Yeah,
Godinez.
I'm
back.
gonna say.
Ducote?
Yeah, she's back. Another short notice fight.
Yeah, sure. Hey, you know what? I think that, and you know what? I can attest to this because I'm sure she has a bad taste in her mouth from the Cynthia fight. Because in my opinion, I don't think that she won that fight. That's my own opinion. That's not bias aside. That was a night of fights where the judges got away with a lot. That was one of those weird ones. You know, you remember what other? There was another one. I think the Gastelum Curtis decision was on that one too. They gave Gastelum 30-27, and you're like, what?
Yes, that was on that card.
Yeah, same card. So the officiating wasn't great there. But anyway, these two obviously losing to one of the people in the main event. Lupe is a rising star. Ducote's on her way up. I would say that she's pretty skilled, honestly. I've been watching a little bit of her because obviously you don't hear about her enough.
I mean, yeah, she was an Invicta. She was an Invicta strawweight champ. Had a good little run in Invicta. Caught her first win against Jessica Penne last year.
Beat the dog shit out of Jessica. I remember watching that, dude, and that was honestly
she's been on the bad side of some
bad decisions.
Jessica Penne's been on the bad side.
Oh, Jessica Penne? Oh,
yeah,
she's been getting her ass whooped for a long time. I honestly felt bad because I thought Jessica Penne, when she was on, anyway, just like diverting from it, when she was on Tough, she was good. I thought she was very good, and then I watched that.
She was at the time had a great record, and then she just kind of ran into Joanna, and that was kind of the beginning of the end.
Fuck, she ran into Schmiegel.
Yeah, it was
when Joanna was Schmiegel.
Yeah,
she was an animal, not what she's now. But anyway, Ducote is very, very technical on her feet, very precise. The one thing that they do have, like, and I actually do because we're watching a couple of fights, her output is basura. You know what I mean? It is not good. It's like I think she has like less than one strike a minute. And I mean
that Angela Hill fight was really, 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 really bad.
Oh my god! You know what? And I would get it, like, but it's not like she's not precise.
She had nothing.
She can move her hands. When she throws, she lands. But like, it's like once in a blue moon, you decide that you're moving, and you don't have the power for that. Like, she's not like a powerful striker, and she hits, it doesn't hurt you. Like Lupe hits you, and your head moves. You know what I mean? Like she had.
And Lupe's got good pressure, and Ducote really did not seem to do well with that pressure that Angela Hill put on her. She kind of put her on her back foot
and just jabbed the shit out of her.
She almost seemed like she froze for a good portion of that and just had no idea what to do while she was moving up her back foot. And Angela was just again pushing forward on her. And I think Lupe can put on that pace.
And the only way that like Ducote can win is if she has a high output here, because
and she has had
even in the Cynthia fight though, Cynthia didn't throw that much, and Lupe gassed. Like Lupe gassed in that fight pretty hard. And like if you had any kind of output, you could make that happen sooner and probably take over in the later round. Round one's probably going to Lupe because she comes out very explosive. She hits hard, and her wrestling is good enough. I think she can hit you down. But like if you don't have power, you have to have accumulation. Especially if you're a striker, you can't just sit there and hit a pitter patter every fucking 90 seconds. That's not how it works. I think she's super good when she actually throws punches. And that's like I don't know. She
didn't do a hell of a lot of.
And she did it, and I'm like, how did you get this far? You know, you're a champion. I mean, I don't know. I'm impressed by her striking, but disappointed in her lack of application of it.
Yeah,
that makes sense because Lupe's not a better striker than her as far as like technical. She's not.
No.
But Lupe lands. She's there to fight. It's not like a, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm going loopy here.
I'm gonna go loopy. I'm gonna go loopy as well, even though it is a very short notice fight for loopy. Loopy did fight 4 weeks ago.
I think it's a catch weight though.
I do believe it is a 120 catch weight, but even so, just still fighting, twice in 4 weeks.
I get you. Hey, she's getting her bread, baby.
Hey, good for her. Hey, all the power to her. But they do have to take that into. I do still have loopy in this one. But I'll be honest, I would not. This is one of those underdogs that I do think has a really good shot here. I think I might be, in my heart, I'm going a bit biased on loopy because I like loopy, but
you're not counting Ducote out of it.
No, I'm definitely not.
I don't think I will either, but it depends.
I think she's,
because if she comes Jessica Penne, she comes as Jessica Penne, her
right. If I take the Angela Hill fight out of it, when she gets inside, she's got really good elbows.
Good clinch work.
She is a good puncher. She's not an outrageously powerful puncher, but she is a good puncher. She's got good takedowns. She does leave herself open in some scrambles sometimes, so that's where loopy could possibly kind of catch something, catch a limb, catch an arm, catch her in a tough position. But I do think that both of them have a similar type of pressure, and I think if Ducote can put loopy on her back foot and kind of push the pressure and set the pace herself, it's gonna be a long night for loopy. And I think that Ducote, what's the odds on that?
There were none. I'm essentially, this is the one where I could not find odds on, which I assume is a pick'em, if I'm honest. I can't find the odds on this one. This is the one that I looked a couple of places, but young Jamie as Ant will take on the young Jamie role.
Yeah, right.
Hold on. Since we're keeping up with One Piece.
What we got for odds here? So a quick search will tell me, it's looking like a pickup. Ducote is the underdog by a slight margin.
What's the exact numbers, if I may?
It's a Ducote is a plus 130 underdog.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
Yeah. But I do look at her. I mean, it is still technically an underdog, so I look at her to be one of the dogs on the card
that you would pick. You would bet for her.
I mean, yeah,
just put a few dollars down. Put $15 down. See what you get.
Yeah, that is one that really stuck out to me as an underdog. That could really make something happen.
Mess it up here. Hold up.
As long as that Angela Hill version of her does not show up, of course.
Bang. All right. All right. Well, this is rolling on pretty well. We'll move on to the next one. Basically, this one's interesting because I know that one of these two has been begging to fight Chris Curtis for a while, and the other one lost to him. So I think that this is a banger of a fight, if I'm honest. If it translates well for Buckley going down to 170.
He wasn't a really big 85er. Like he's
get knocked the hell out, dude. He's too small.
Yeah,
bro.
he
just like even stature wise. You know what I mean? Like he's not even tall enough to be there.
I think his last weigh-in, would he weighed in against Chris, or maybe it was
like
the fight before that. He weighed in one fight at like fucking like 180 or something like that.
Yeah, something crazy.
He doesn't have like a massive frame. Of course, he's got that muscle and that bulk, so he can keep a couple extra pounds on. But I do think that move to 70, if he can make it well, and it doesn't really drain him too much, which I don't think it will. I think could be good for him.
But anyway, saying the matchup, because we didn't say actually the name of the fighter. So it's Andre Fialho versus Jaquan Buckley is who we're talking about, referring to. Andre Fialho, both of these guys have kind of similar styles in how they box. I think that it's pretty. I mean, Buckley's coming in as a favorite at minus 220. Another pick 'em really at Fialho at plus 180. I think this could be a fight of the night one, or at least on the main card, this might be the best one because these two are just going to hit each other. Neither of them are gonna shoot. I don't expect that for a damn second. Fialho, they both of them have good boxing. Like if you watch, I know obviously Chris put Buckley out, but Chris is one of the better boxers in that division. But if you watch him
Absolutely.
against Kevin Holland, right? He was doing work against Kevin Holland. You know what I mean? The one thing that he's going to have trouble with against a guy who's a power puncher and really flat-footed in Fialho is the fact that he leaps into things. You know what I mean? Like, he kind of jumps into stuff, especially his lead hooks. And that's where somebody that's flat-footed or really like digs in he's got good cut like short hooks as he backs up. And his combination work is great. So like I really think that this is probably the most even match on the feet. I don't see it going all three, if I'm honest, just in the manner that these two fight.
No.
And if Buckley doesn't engage, then Fialho will. And if Buckley gets backed up, then he'll start to, you know what I mean? Like it's just the formula for this fight is inevitable that they're just going to start swinging.
Buckley definitely has to back him up because Fialho starts feeling himself really
when he backs you against the cage.
When he puts you up against the cage, when he really pushes you forward, he gets into a little bit of a flow early when he does that, and that's going to be bad for Buckley. Buckley has real good hand speed. He has the ability to keep him back, push him back. I think he is faster.
I think he's
bigger naturally. I think he's just got that fast twitch, explosive, real power. But is he gonna gas? Big question.
Well, now that might be different because Buckley or Fialho?
Buckley,
because they both do that. And I think that's just the manner of in the style. If you just like think about power punching in general, you know what I mean. You give up, angles and speed for power, but in exchange for that, you burn through energy. Like there's swinging as hard as you can and not hitting a target one or doing it and having to do it 50 times. You gas quicker. So like Fialho does that in the third round. He's abysmal sometimes. So I'm going to go Fialho on this just because Buckley's been touched now more than once. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I don't think when was the last time that Fialho got knocked out. We only got 10 minutes. So
his last fight.
He got knocked out then? Oh shit, then never mind.
As spinning back kick. So
they're both coming off of knockout losses, huh?
I did not see that. Fialho's coming off of 2 straight knockout losses. And Buckley's coming off a decision loss and then that knockout to Chris Curtis. So they're both on 2 fight losing streaks. I'm gonna go against you. I'm gonna go Buckley.
Ooh, you're gonna Buckley on this one.
I think Buckley. Yeah, he did get touched by Chris Curtis, but as you said, Chris Curtis
is probably one of the better boxers.
Chris Curtis touches a lot of people.
If Chris came down to 70, he'd be knocking people out too. You know what I mean? Like he's one of the better boxers in the UFC.
So I think if it takes a guy like Chris Curtis at 85 to really
put him cold out, then
put him cold out. I mean, again, he did lose to Kevin Holland, but it's I just don't see I don't see the power of Fialho being that difficult for him to overcome in that sense. But he also can't be, he has to be first. He has to be pushing Fialho back because Fialho does get a bit uncomfortable. I mean, as with some people do off his back
foot. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
And Buckley can keep him with that explosiveness, but also, he doesn't want to push too much, doesn't want to gas himself out.
We'll see.
Who knows how that weight cut will go.
I think I think that it really comes down to that. Because if he does cut the right way,
that's one where
I think he's fine.
I'd really I'm gonna say Buckley and I'll stick with it, but I would like to see what he looks like on the scale. Really, what he looks like at weigh-ins to really get a good gauge of, does he look real sucked in? Does he look terrible? I'm gonna go Buckley on that.
All right. That's a good one. That's the only one I think we're going to go against each other here. We're coming up on just under 10 minutes left, so we're going to kind of speed through the next ones. and see if we can get to the prelims. There's only one prelim that I'm really, really interested in watching, which I really think is going to be a good one. So, last fight on the main card is Diego Ferreira versus Michael Johnson. I honestly think this is a weird ass fight. I don't understand why it's on a main card. I don't get it. They're both coming off of losses. Michael Johnson is like part of the crew, part of the ship. You know what I mean? This guy has just been around. Do you know what I mean? Forever.
Yeah.
And he's one of those guys. He's like Angela Hill in the regard that on any given night, Michael Johnson could beat fucking anybody, or he could just die in there. You know what I mean? Literally just get
very streaky guy.
You know, and Diego Ferreira is another guy that's on a 3-fight losing streak.
Yeah.
And like he's not exactly like one of those.
And he hasn't fought in 2 years.
In a long ass time. So I'm just confused why this one. Again, I get the main prelim thing, dude, but on a fight card that's not a pay-per-view, put the fights that should be on the main card on the main card. You could have made this fight the main card, you know what I mean? And it had the same excuses. Anyway, so I'm gonna go with Michael Johnson just because.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Michael Johnson as well.
Diego's 38 years old. You know what I mean? Like he's on the back end of it. He's on a 2-year layoff, 3 losses, 2 of them were knockouts. You know what I mean? He's not rolling.
He was.
Right
he was
with Michael Johnson.
Yeah, he was the 55 boogeyman until he ran into Beneil Dariush. So
until he ran into my man Benny the Butcher. That's why.
I'm gonna also go with Michael Johnson here.
Yeah, all right, that's a good. We'll just move through that. Now, this is the only one that we're gonna take. We have 6 minutes left, so we'll go through this one quick. This prelim worthy of note. There's only a couple of them, but this is really the one that I want to talk about. Borshev versus Mahashati. Thank you. I've been butchering that for 2 days too. This is a certified banger. Mahashate, the way that he fights is just violent. And it's not that Borshev isn't. It's like basically style is speed versus power here. Because Borshev is very quick. He's got a great arsenal of strikes.
2-time former K1 champion.
Exactly. You know what I mean? A very decorated kickboxer. And Mahashate, correct? Right? Mahashate.
I think that's
I'm gonna try another one. This man is just violence incumbent. You know, he's durable as hell. He's a tank, and he hits hard as hell, and he digs in and fights. So I really do expect him to be pushing the pace backwards because Borshev seems to move on the outside a lot better, dance on his toes, and Mahashate just kind of plots forward. You know what I mean? Plots forward, waits for time. Real long arms on him. I'm gonna go with him on this one just because the way that he wins is violent. You know what I mean? And I think that Borshev has a great skill set, but I just think that from what I've seen, he's hard to take down. He's violent as hell. When he hits you, it fucking hurts every single time. So that's my pick for that one. That's definitely a good one. I would say certified banger.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mahashate as well, but I do think it's gonna be a stand-up war. And I mean, I if it does stay on the feet the entire time, Borshev could pull something off again.
For sure. He's got great
K1 kickboxing champion. You know,
I think it's
decorated kickboxing boxing record. So it's definitely one of those stand-up bangers that a lot of the guys that might think the grappling is boring. This is the one for you, I think.
No. Let's see. Yeah, that one's for sure a fight of the night candidate for me. I really do think that one's going to be the sleeper of the night. Again, we're going with Mahashate, but if you haven't heard of Borshev, he's a very decorated kickboxer, definitely worthy of like a look up on YouTube or even some of his UFC fights. Both of these guys are definitely guys you're going to hear more about in the division. Borshev doesn't have the greatest record, but that doesn't indicate his level of skill.
That's alpha male guy. Yeah. Definitely got a good camp behind him. Just ran into a couple tough guys recently, so he could bounce back here, but I do think Mahashate is gonna overcome that and take the dub.
Okay, last one real quick. We're just gonna go with the New England guy because it's kind of weird and I don't get it. Real fast, like 1 minute each, or just 1 minute. Chase Hooper versus Nick Fiore. Hooper is the underdog in this one. I think that's kind of weird to me. Nick Fiore has 2 wins against the same guy. Again, I don't want to knock the mass native, but this is quite a leap in competition for him. Based on anything else, I don't know why Chase would be the underdog even in a pick'em. But I'm gonna go with Chase just off of the experience here. I think that Chase at towards the end of his first run definitely showed promise with his hands. Towards the end, he just couldn't put it together the right way.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I'm very on the fence about this. I'm gonna be completely honest, and that's all New England bias out of the equation. I think Fiore's UFC debut. I think he showed a lot more than people expected from him, given the level of his opponent, and to hang in there like that. I'm still. I guess I think I'm gonna go Chase, but this is another one. Yeah, this is another.
Catch him.
This is one a la that Loopy fight against Ducote, where I'm not gonna be shocked if Fiore comes out and pulls it off.
Okay, all right, good.
Even though he's not the underdog, technically speaking, I would have thought that he was.
That's what I was
with
saying.
all due respect to him.
Yeah.
But I do have Chase. I think Chase will bounce back here.
I think that he will as well. All right, well, that was pretty much it for us. This is the episode. I don't even know what episode number this is at this point, but we'll keep them going as I make the editing. Want to thank my boy Ant here. It was a really good time talking to him. We actually went a little bit further than I thought it would, so that's pretty dope.
Yes, sir.
We'll be back next week with another preview breakdown. We can talk about a bunch of other stuff. Eventually, we're gonna look at all the nerd shit in his background, look at all the nerd shit in mine. We're gonna have nerdy stuff all over the place. But it's been a great time. Thank you, Ant. This has been the Last Lap Podcast. Mr. J signing off. I'll see you next week. Enjoy the fights, baby. EDC Las Vegas, bitch!